Hola everyone, I'm Veronica Bartolini with Codebreaker Real Talk, Unchained Hearts and Unchaining Hearts. How is everyone doing today? I hope that you are doing well. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the MK Ultra program, specifically the Monarch Sex Kitten program, where you're put in these programs to um, they fracture your mind. And a lot of us in the secret space program now, um, for example, myself, I was diagnosed with DID, which is dissociative identification disorder, and it used to be the multiple personality program. A lot of this is done by trauma at home. For example, your parents can, be hitting you constantly, telling you that you're worth nothing, all these things that I really don't want to say because I'm here to empower you, not to hurt you in any way. I'm here to inform you of things that are done on this earth and other planets, of course, to fracture the mind of a child. And it has to be done early. Now, in, for example, myself, they took me at 1 year and 8 months. So if their whole theory is that if they can take you before the age of 3, that's even better for them because they can put like so many personalities in you, so many alters. Not only the assassin one, but the sex kitten program. Uh, Sometimes as a child, the parent can say, hey, you got to lie to your parent, to your dad or your mom, whoever it is that you're that saying. It's like blackmail, and as a child, you don't even know you're growing up all not knowing what to say anymore because we come in perfect and then all these programs are placed upon us, these chains. That's why I called the other channel Unchained Hearts. And then this one is breaking kryptonite, breaking the programming. So you're told that you're bad if you lie, but they're the ones telling you to lie. And your heart is the heart of gold as a child, and you're like, oh my gosh, well, if I tell my dad this, if I tell him the truth, then my mom's gonna hit me or take me out of basketball or take me out of, not let me see my friends, not let me watch cartoons. And another one is, of course, cartoons, right? I grew up watching Bugs Bunny and Warner Brothers. I call it the White Brothers Society, but that's just me. Um, there's many ways of breaking a child, and unfortunately, what they do is they rape the child from behind and any which way. And there's this thing that is called the panda eyes, and where their eyes bulge out, and then of course they also consume the eyes. If you look at the movie Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children, there's these giant beings that kids can't see, and kids are being taken and their eyeballs are being eaten. And but there's the main character that he's able to see these entities and is able to take care and rescue the children. And not only that, they also talk about the moving of time, reversing time, time travel. The Germans, it was in a place where they're stuck in a loop, or actually the Miss Peregrine, she actually made the loop to take care of the children because every night, there was the bombings at a certain time and she had to rewind time and all the kids and everybody had to put face masks on, the gas masks on and things like that. So their time never, the kids stay at the same age. So there's just a lot of information. The There's a place here in town called Panda, and they sell boba. Then there's also Panda Express, all these things that are, to me, I just can't eat in those places. I can't even use a purse that is MK Ultra because it reminds me of the mind control, okay, with control with the K, with the German project that I was involved with. I was involved in all the projects, in all the programs. People like me, we have all the abilities. We are able to sleep and get all information remote view. We don't have to sleep. You guys can look up Edgar Casey. We are very important here, guys. And I don't want to get into like, oh, we're the chosen, because it's not about that. It's not about the ego. We have been tortured. We have been raped. We have been electrocuted. We have been drowned. We have, even as an adult, I was mind controlled. And unfortunately, it was a friend from high school. And when I woke up, there was a line of men waiting to do things to me. I woke up during a time where there was a sex act that I had not consented to. I blacked out and then I woke up like that, and I'm not proud of that. These are CIA's assets that are sent, and this is not for children. This is for adults only. So as many of you know, I was molested by a family member, and I won't visit too much over there because I just can't. I did tell my mother, because I remembered when I was like 33 or 34 years old, I was washing the dishes one day, and all of a sudden I was looking out the window and I'm like, oh my goodness, this happened to me. And I won't go into specifics, but then, as kids, we ran around in trailer courts because that's where we had to live. We were really poor and stuff like that, and it was a really poor neighborhood. So we would play outside, and there was a girl that was like maybe 4 years older than I was, and we used to go to her house to play Monopoly. My sister and my other cousin lived there too, and a friend of ours, mutual friend. We were kids, and she took me to her room and she made me do things, and I'm like, oh hell no, as soon as that she started doing that, I'm not gonna get into it, but I I ran out of the room and I told my other sister, I go, we gotta go. And we ran home. And of course, I couldn't tell my mother or father because I was scared. Um, but her name was Veronica, and they called her Ronnie. And there is no way that I will be called that. Anytime somebody meets me for the first time and they try to say Ronnie to me, I said, nope, that is not my name, and do not call me that. I'd rather be called V or Vero. But yeah, so that's why I went on a rant on Instagram, because after seeing this Carol G concert, a little bit of it, because somebody took their son that's not even 10 years old, and I'm not doing this video to judge this person. I'm just doing it because it's very important. You guys need to know what's going on. Like, so let me go ahead and share the screen here. And of course, I can't play the whole thing because I don't want this video to be taken down. But here are some of the words of the lyrics, and I'll translate. So she's saying that she's going outside. She's saying that she feels like a bichota sin salir de Blóque because she hasn't gone out of the block. And she says, "No me quieren partir y no tienen con qué." So you wanna pretty much rip my, excuse me, my behind out. I don't want to say any bad words, but culo in Spanish is just a really bad word. That means ass, okay? But it she's wanting to go out to get raped pretty much. So she's roncan means they snore, but they can't with my boom boom. And if there is someone that can rip me, can't with my. So por encima se me nota que me sobra el piquete. No dimos para de botella y ahora estamos al garete. So not only is she talking about she's not high enough or whatever, she needs more coke or I don't know F. And then the botella is mentioned there, which is a bottle. And a lot of people are raped with bottles. Like I said, this is just for us adults. And for people to take kids to this, how many pedophiles were there? I'm pretty sure a bunch were there. Then the parent or the mom gets drunk, and what happens to the kid? There we go. So viene Mari, that means she wants weed, marijuana, right? And other substances. Let's see here. What else? Ya te vamos a romper, yeah. So the choir is kind of like saying, yeah, we're going to come and rip your butt. So anyway, I don't want to even have this in my mind. I just can't stand this. And she also has the red hair. And you're going to see a lot of kids dyeing their hair red because that's an affirmation that their sex kitten altar is in full force. So these kids are not only they could be, hurt and raped in here, but in the astral, dreams, they're visited by dreams. I know, to this day, I've had 6 attacks already in the astral this week and a half from starting from Tuesday of last week because it's just personal stuff that's been going on that I can't talk about. So I always say before I go to bed, I say, I do not consent to astral sex. I don't care who the screen memory is because, they put screen memory there. So the CIA, how they use this acid is they'll be, either as kids or adults. You have sex with someone. That someone gets your information through your DNA. And then when that CIA asset goes back to whoever he has to report to, either has sex with that person to get the downloader information or is placed on a lie detector test. And you guys got to look up Max Spears, my brother. He talks about this a lot, or used to. I miss him. But the way they did it with me was this is really hard to talk about. Because there's a reason why I was a police officer. Not only was I wanting to help others, especially young kids, because when I was 14, I would have to call the cops all the time because my mom was getting her butt beat by my I don't even want to call him father because he was no father to me. And I told the officer, I said, one day I want to be a cop or a doctor. I said, but because I want to help people, I want to be a cop, I said. And, the parent is under mind control you're growing up thinking that you're stupid, that you're dumb. And so at school I had to excel. I had always got A pluses, always was involved in all these programs because I was not being taken care of at home. And me, I just have a lot of energy too. So there was a lot of cover programs. For example, when I went to Washington, D.C., I saw the Smithsonian, the museum. Um, we walked around the White House. We were supposed to go there, but we couldn't, something was going on, we couldn't go in there. I was being groomed to be a politician. I took political science at the University, Arizona. I ever since I was a child, I was groomed for arts and you know, for performing. So on Sunday with John, we're going to be talking about these programs. Some of them were in Uranus, some in Mercury, some in Mars, the moon. And so they try to break us. You know, they do. They mind tracked us and things like that. And then they not only do that, but they also instill a program called the Omega program, which is they call this the kill switch. Um, the kill switch. So, you know, you're supposed to kill yourself before you freaking wake up to these being used this way in these programs. And then, you know, then you got to deal with your family and other people thinking that you're crazy. And then you try and date someone and you can't even talk about nothing normal because it's boring. It's like, I don't have anything in common with anybody that's quote unquote normal, that's stuck in the matrix, working 9 to 5, you know, effing, sucking and trucking, like they say. Um, and I'm not judging, guys. I did that. I partied all the time. You know, I worked too. I even in at the university, you know, I was in the army. I was in Army Reserves. I had a job and I had to go to school full time. And then I was a realtor at 21 and continued. And you know, then I finally got married at 24, but I didn't have kids till I was 27. So it's all obviously the partying and going out stopped because I was married to a narcissist Hispanic where I couldn't even freaking dye my hair blonde. And now I know why, because that's my wolf uh, altar, the take no shit wise person and be a caretaker and taking care of others as much as I can. So yeah, as a lot of you know that I died for 3 days. You guys can look up that near death experience on Unchaining Hearts back in the day when I started the channel. So, you know, Olga Brinski, let me see if I can look her up real quick. So this is Olga Brinski when she was younger. And she would always play her violin like almost naked. And then she would have reptilian snakes. She actually lived her bed. She slept with snakes, tarantulas. I think she even had a puma or a lion. I don't even know what, but yeah. So this one is Ray. Even Charles is there on this video. This is an old video. This is what I used to watch when I was a kid. There's Olga Brinski, 1972. I was born in 71. I was born in 71. My mom, she told me that when she was little, she wanted to be a dancer like this. And she was in that sex kitten program too. She was also raped at 15 and had to roll out of a vehicle, she says. Um, and she said she wanted to be like her, like the old black and white ballerinas. So see how the whole family is being groomed like this. All right, see here. And this is nothing compared now to freaking Carol G crap. But so my mom, she would have me come out with family that would come from out of town, and she would tell me, put your underwear in your butt, like Olga Brinski, and then play the violin. Sorry, sorry, I do not consent to. Oh, and that was another one too. Elvis. Now they're talking about when Elvis opens his mouth, but my mom, she would tell us that Elvis was our father. So I don't know if there's some truth in that or not. Now thinking about all this stuff, now that I'm older and knowing what I know about these programs. Because one day when I was coming home from school, she's like crying. She has a chair in front of the old TV set, and she's crying. I'm like, Mom, ¿por qué estás llorando? Why are you crying? Because your father died. I'm like, what? Elvis. I'm like, really? It was horrible. Anyway, here's Olga. I don't think they're gonna show her. She was an excellent violinist. I really like her. Let me see if I can find another one here. Anyway, you guys can look her up. I'm gonna look up Charitín right now because that's another one that I was programmed with. So see, not only was I programmed here in the US, but in Mexico. Charitín, I guess it's not working. Let me hold on, let me look this up real quick. Okay, so this is Charitín. I grew up watching her on TV on La Carabiña de Ambrósio. If you Hispanic people know what I'm talking about, for people that saw. That's Charitín. See the blonde. Look at her big old fat lips. She looks like a freaking alien. Tall, blonde, big old boobs. What else here? Let me go back. So then when I was growing up, also there was this one girl that I used to sing to, and her name was El Pelo Suelto was a song that we used to sing. Gloria Trevi. Okay, so this girl here, she was taken to a sex kitten ring in Mexico. Let's see, Gloria Trevi performance. No, no tickets. Sorry guys, that's why I don't know how to edit stuff, so hold on just a second. So a lot of us, we would perform as kids because we were, we would be in Mexico visiting our family, and we would just sing and dance and play and all this stuff. And this is the stuff we were programmed with. Here's the video, okay? See how much of it I can play. So what she's saying is, a mí me gusta andar con el pelo suelto, a mí me gusta andar, me gusta todo lo que tiene misterio. So I love to wear my hair down, out, right? Just down. And I love everything that has to do with mystery. So my mom would hate it when I didn't want to do my hair because I just wanted to wear it down, and back in the day, we always had to wear braids and stuff like that and pigtails for school. Then there's the circle, there is a CERN, there is a portal, black and white. So Aunque me vean siempre con enredo, meaning even I love to wear my hair down, even if my hair is in knots. And there's, she promotes this guy who's her handler, and Sergio was his first name, I believe. So, hair in knots, pretty much deadhead. She's telling everybody she's being raped and in the sex kitten program, and that she likes everything with mystery. Look at all that. Look at that. Sex kitten altar. Yeah, she says even if I don't, no me importa si infartar mi suegra. I don't care if my um, mother-in-law or my grandmother is getting an infarto, meaning a heart attack. So here, man, I was so programmed, guys. I can't say that I'm ashamed because that's not I don't want to be, I'm not in that program no more of shame, because shame is also a program. I've already forgiven myself. I didn't know back then all this stuff. So she's saying I'm gonna forget about all the sad things in my life. I'm gonna dress like I want and I'm gonna do my hair like I want, no matter what people say. There's a booty shorts, Daisy Duke shorts, right? I was also programmed with that one. Duke's a hazard. So now look at that. The cat eyes, right? The stance, the mirrors, the jump room. No me quedo calva, meaning I'm not gonna go bald. Anyway, gosh, I wanted to show you something else. Well, yeah, I mean, we could go talk about Dolly Parton. They say that she's the first clone to be a human clone to be cloned with a sheep. Got all her pictures, all the Botox, the wigs. So all those programs, guys. There's another Mexican actress that was killed off, I should say. Let me look her up real quick. Oh, never mind. It's Jenni Rivera. She would talk a lot of crap about men, and they say she was off by the ex or something. Basta, yeah, like that's enough. Ow! Ow, ow! Now that you've been far away, I took the liberty and I liked it, she said. She would change a lot too. She would change her dresses a lot. And then she had the butt done, the hips, the tummy tuck, the boobs, all that. So this is what we were programmed with, unfortunately. She was very popular. She was often a plane in an airplane that she had just bought, supposedly. That it wasn't brand new, but they say that they did it deliberately, and there was obviously no survivor. So I wonder what else she knew. You can't see this one very well. Anyway, you get the point of that. Let me go to Carol G so you guys can look at her actually. I do not consent to all this. Carol G to me is MK Ultra, G for not generation, but gender. Programming gender. That's what I code broke. Let's see. We don't want tickets. Carol G businesswoman. La Pecolita. Sex kitten altar. Let me see here. Hold on. YouTube video of Carol Check. All right, here we go, guys. I don't even want to listen to the music. I've never heard her music. I don't want to, but here we go for a little bit for just for these purposes. There's a portal again, mirrors. Look at that, all about the butt. She says, I am crazy about, I can't wait to taste you. What are they doing in the toilets? So from behind, it's just horrible. This is horrible. Horrible. I do not consent. I'm so pissed off that these mothers would take their kids. Ugh. Anyway, I'm going to end it right now because I'm upset. Write your thoughts. Let me know. Ridiculous. Love you guys.